What's up, tribe? How you guys doing? Go ahead and hit that subscribe button. I hope you like this video. So listen, this is going to be the Real Housewives of Potomac reunion part 4, the Nicki Minaj takeover. I'm going to be honest with y'all. This is probably going to be an unpopular opinion, but it ain't really doing a whole lot for me. I'm just going to be honest with y'all. I feel like a lot of the information have been regurgitated. We had already talked about it ad nauseum. And I get that Nicki Minaj was putting her spin on it. And she was like coming with the but some of the stuff I was just tired of talking about. And that's why we didn't need a 4-part reunion. I feel like if we had a 2-part reunion and then had the Nicki Minaj takeover, I feel like if they had edited some of the stuff down where we had, like, I feel like, for example, I feel like we have talked about, the Wendy plastic surgery. I just feel like we talked about it ad nauseum, and I'm just kind of over it, right? But anyway, let's get through it. So we started off from last week where Nicki was questioning Ashley, saying she ain't had no storyline. And Ashley was like, well, I have been on this show for 6 years, and I've got a lot to talk about. Are you trying to say that my family is no storyline? And Nicki was like, girl, no. But you literally drove all the way down to Williamsburg just to start mess and to leave. And once again, here go Robin. Well, we didn't know it was going to go like that. Well, we didn't expect it to go like that. And again, we have this whole conversation again about Ashley stirring up mess. Was she being messy? Was she really there? Was it out of any concern? And Ashley was like, well, I have always been the kind of person that come to your face and not behind your back. And so, I mean, that's just what I do. And that's what I did. And whatever, child. Then we talked about Robin and Juan. And she talking about something. I feel like I felt a different energy off of you and Juan this season. I mean, are y'all having more sex than usual? What season did you watch? I didn't see nothing sexual between Robin and Juan. I didn't feel no sexual energy at all. Girl, what season did you watch? Then she had the same question she was asking Karen about her and Ray, and well, y'all seem a little more touchy-feely, and you even got him to say he loved you on camera. I mean, what? That's an accomplishment that a woman gets her husband to admit that he loves her on camera? That's the bar? She asked Karen if she really didn't know what a tea bag was or a tossing salad. And of course, ain't nobody believe her child. Nobody believes her child. She did ask if Robin and Gizelle were lovers, which of course is a question that everybody, and my thing is this, y'all, I get it for shock value and, oh my gosh, yeah, she asked the question, but let's be clear. Even if Robin and Gizelle was getting it in at every chance they could, they not about to admit it. If they been keeping it a secret all these years or however long, they ain't about to admit it. So I get that those are the questions that viewers want to ask, but what did y'all expect them to say? So then Nicki was like, well, if somebody offered you $15 billion or $15 million, would you do it? Hell yeah. Who gonna say no to that? Who is saying no to if somebody offered you $15 million to have sex with a woman? I mean, first of all, it's hypothetical, so. But anybody that says no, wait till you get that transfer into your account and you see what your bank account balance is. I bet you change your mind. I'm just saying. Moving on. So then from there, we got on this whole Michael Juan situation. And now this was very interesting because Nicki I feel like Nicki started off being messy on one way and then ended up somewhere different. Because Nicki started off talking about how Robin, you seem real cool. Because Robin is just laughing and grinning and giggling about it. And she was like, I feel like you're real cool about this man saying he wants to have sex with your husband. She was like, would you be that way if it were a woman? Because I feel like, again, here's this double standard, because Robin was like, but Ron's not gay. And Ashley was like, Michael's not gay. But then she was like, So she went from that to, well, I just think that's really, stronger Juan, because, especially as a black man, for him to not be intimidated by that, and the fact that you're cool with him being friends with, Michael. She was like, because again, if this were a woman, would you be as cool with a woman saying she wants to, perform fellatio on your husband? Would you be as comfortable with that woman saying that? Like, would you be cool with that? Like, I bet you won't. And I'm just like, again, I'm sitting here like, why are we acting like this is normal? But I thought that was an interesting line of questioning, and I was here for that line of question. I ain't gonna lie, because I did think that was interesting. Because Robin does laugh it off like it's not a big deal to her. And again, I think let's just assume that we all believe whatever we believe. But again, I'm like, this is the double standard. Because if that had been a woman, Robin, you wouldn't be so flippant about it. You wouldn't be so ha 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 about it. Like, girl. Then they got on Karen and Gizelle and the whole ageism thing. And again, she started off with Gizelle, you are absolutely beautiful. You're absolutely beautiful. I think you're gorgeous. But you have changed over the years. And they showed the before and after. And I thought this was a little rude. Because then it was like, I mean, do you regret telling Karen's husband about your looks fading? And I was like, what you trying to say? Are you trying to say Gizelle not as nice looking as she used to be? Giselle's not as pretty as she used to be? That's rude. Now, don't get me wrong, it's Gizelle. Gizelle is rude as fuck. But that's rude. So then they got on Karen, and they did bring up the fact that Karen looks a whole lot different from season 1. Girl, you do. And Karen, listen, I couldn't be mad, because Karen, you do look a lot younger than you did in season 1. Like, whatever you are doing, whatever work you are putting in, baby, it is good. It is working for you, okay? The work, listen, whoever you pay, they have earned their money. And Karen admitted to getting fillers and things of that nature, yada, 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 child. Then we talked about Karen and Gizelle in their argument, right? And Karen, again, was bringing up stuff from the blogs, and she said, I said all that about Gizelle, but, that's what was out there. That's what people were saying, so I believed it to be true. It was what it was. And here go Robin over there in the corner. Well, the difference is Gizelle is bringing facts, and Karen is just bringing rumors. That's the difference. There you go, caping again, Robin. Anybody ask you? But there you go, caping. So, they actually asked Robin about that too, about her and Gizelle. And Nicki was like, well, y'all was down in Williamsburg. You were like, well, are we mad at Candace? Are we mad? And she was like, why you need the cosign? Why you need somebody else's cosign on whether y'all are mad at each other or not? And I did think that was interesting. And Robin was like, well, I wasn't saying like me and you. I was saying like, are we as a group mad at Candace because, mad at, whoever the fuck y'all supposed to be mad at. Because, I was just asking like, are we as a group? And I was like, girl, you was asking, are me and you, are we mad? And do I have permission to be mad? Then they got on the whole, Mia and her mom situation. So listen, she gave Mia kudos for, having her mom on there. She was saying how, that she really wished that they would focus a little bit more on that as far as, Mia's relationship with her mom, and how, that was really touching, and that Mia needs to really be open and really needs to listen, to what her mom is saying. And I again, she said that her mom is getting better, that their relationship is getting better. Baby, then they got her talking about the script club situation. Listen, when she made that comment about, if you had, when you at a place and it's serving steak and lobster, you're not at a script club, that's a whole lie. Because I'm just saying, script clubs be selling lobster and steak. That's all I'm saying about that. But then she went on to say how she was basically empowering other people who strip. And Nicki was like, I know you're not turning this into a whole empowerment moment. Like, girl, like, let's stop. You're not. No. This is not a whole women's empowerment situation. You was a stripper. You met your husband. You met the man of your dreams, or the man that had the right bank account, and you went on about your happy life. I ain't mad at you, but stop turning this into more than what it is. You ain't the only one. You ain't the first, and you damn sure ain't gonna be the last. Like, it is what it is, girl. And I feel like that's what Nicki was trying to get Mia to admit to. So then they did talk about Gizelle and Jamal. And Nicki brought up, like, well, do you think it's interesting that Jamal was interested in trying to get back with you now that you on TV? You kind of got your own shine. And Gizelle was like, you know, she said she was open to the idea of getting back with Jamal. And I thought this was honest, too. Because she said, because now she felt like she was equal. Because she always felt like that throughout their marriage, she was in his shadow. And Nicki was like, well, were you in his pockets? And Gizelle was like, absolutely, I wasn't working. Like, yeah. But she went on to say, did I help him start his church and build it up? Yes. She said, when we started the church, it was us and 40 members. And now it's got over 15,000 members. And for a long time, he didn't take a salary. We lived off of his books. We lived off of his speaking engagements because he wanted to build up the church. So, yeah, I'm a mom. I'm raising his kids. Absolutely. So I thought that was, like, honestly, y'all, I feel like that was probably the most honest that Gizelle has been. Like, that was really open and honest of her to say, listen, I thought that I finally was in a place where I didn't have to live in his shadow. So yeah, I was open to the conversation, right? Child, of course we had to talk about Eddie and him following the booty models. And I thought this was very interesting because Wendy kept giggling. Now, Wendy, you had all that hoo for Eddie and everybody else up there whenever Eddie's name came up. But now that Nicki Minaj is asking questions, now all of a sudden you he ha ha ha. Now it's a he and it's a ha ha ha. But when it was all the rest of them, you was coming with the full force and you was reading bitches down. But now all of a sudden it's, well, you know, I mean, I don't know who Eddie follows on Instagram. That's not my business. I don't know if he's following the booty models. I mean, my BBL, I mean, it's still not as big as some of those booty models. So I said, oh, so we timid now. Oh, we kikiing now. Oh, we giggling now. I said, girl, Wendy, bye. Now, I know Wendy is a barb, but girl, you got that same smoke. And she did bring up the fact that, you know, it was weird to see Wendy go from a political commentator to selling candles. She said, you know, you got to admit that that's weird. You have to admit that that was a whole switch up, and it was weird. Like, stop acting like that wasn't weird. And of course, she ain't really had no good answer because. So then she asked the ladies about Ashley, Karen, and Mia, who are all married to older men. Would they still be as open to be married to these men if they had their own money in the bank? And again, I felt like everybody except for Ashley because, well, no, that's a lie. Karen was honest. Karen was like, listen, you know, when I first met my husband, he moved my soul. But if he was broke, nah, I probably wouldn't have paid I probably wouldn't have paid him no mind. That's just real. That's just keeping it real. Actually talking about some, oh my gosh, well, I really love my husband. Like, I was attracted to him. And I was this and I was that. Girl, you were 22 years old when you met that man. You was a bartender. Don't sit here and act like if he was some broke dude on the end of the bar, you know, that credit card kept getting declined every other week when it wasn't pay week. Please don't sit here and act like you still would have been giving him the time of day. Bye. Now, Mia gonna say, well, how do you know I didn't have $15 million in the bank? Nicki was like, because you didn't. Like, we know you don't. So just answer the question, girl. So then she talking about some, I mean, well, he was sweet and he was this and he was that. And that's, girl, you wouldn't have married him if he didn't have no money. Because if that was, you wouldn't have married him if he had no money. Shit. They'll be doing too much, y'all. So then we got to talking to Candace about her mom. And Candace was like, you know, she did check her mom. And, you know, Nicki was like, well, what do you mean you checked her? Like, what did you say to her? And she was like, well, I did, you know, I told her, she said, when I had to call Chris and let Chris know what was being said, excuse me, I had to let Chris know what was being said. It was very hurtful. And she said, you know, you need to let your mom know, like, this could potentially end your marriage. She said, and for your mom to be just thinking that she's being funny for TV, which is what she told Candace she was doing it for TV. The fact that she would be willing to put your marriage in jeopardy, like, that's not cool. And she was like, well, I don't want to disrespect my mom on national TV. And they were like, but your mama disrespected you in your marriage. And she was like, well, you know, I did check her and I did take a break from her for a couple of weeks. And, you know, ultimately they were trying, like, all of them were basically trying to tell Candace, you need to get your mother in check. Like, your mother's going to ruin your marriage if you do not get her in check. So then Nicki was asking her about the music and how many downloads she had and how many streams she had. And let's just say this, that first of all, Candace didn't even know, so she had to look the number up. And once Candace looked the number up, Nicki was not impressed. I think she had 22,000 downloads, which, listen, I don't think it's nothing to sneeze at for an independent artist, but, child, you know, Nicki was like, oh, okay. Like, I ain't gonna say nothing. I'm not gonna break up your life, girl. So then she asked Candace to sing, and Candace didn't want to sing. Now, what I find interesting is that Candace has found every opportunity to sing on this show from her first episode until her last episode. And the one time you in front of a multi-platinum artist who is asking you to sing live, because they brought up the fact that she did auto tunes on her music. So she's like, girl, we need an acapella. And the fact that Candace did not want to sing her hit single, girl, I said, what the hell? And everybody was shocked by that. Then she was like, well, I don't want to sing that. I'll sing some gospel. Girl, you know what you're singing? You know why you wanted to sing some gospel? That's why you wanted to sing some gospel. It's the old Showtime at the Apollo trick. Y'all who remember Showtime at the Apollo from the 80s and 90s, y'all know when they would get to amateur night, and they would have them people come out and sing. No matter how bad you sounded, if you were singing gospel, you didn't get booed. So I feel like Candace wanted to sing some gospel so that no matter how it came out, nobody was going to say nothing bad. Now, she eventually did sing Dry Back, but I just thought it just was weird to me, and I feel like it was weird to everybody that Candace didn't want to sing the damn song. So finally, they take their final break, and the men, the husbands came out or whatever, and Chris is pissed. He was like, he didn't appreciate that line of questioning. He didn't appreciate the way that they were coming. And Candace was like, well, I feel like she was drilling everybody equally. And I'll be honest with you, unless they edited a whole lot out, I don't really see where Candace got it that bad. Maybe I missed it, y'all. Maybe it just went over my head. But outside of them talking to her about her mother-in-law, I don't see where Candace got it that bad. I see where a couple of times Candace tried to cut people off or tried to insert herself, and Nicki told her, girl, you might not want to get in this. You might want to sit over there and chill. I mean, one time she did tell Candace she was going to sit her in the back and put her in time out. But again, that's because Candace kept putting her 2 cents in other people's conversation. I don't see where the questioning was so bad that Chris had to have an attitude about it. Y'all tell me. Maybe I missed something. Maybe. Anyway. And child, that was the end of it. So y'all let me know what y'all think. I'll talk to y'all later about it. Peace.